Porridge is probably the first thing that was ever cooked.
As soon as agriculture was invented, I believe porridges were probably shortly to follow.
It requires an ingredient and water and fire.
Some of the first food that man made was squishing together grains that they found and making them wet. They either ate them as porridge or they sat out and yeast would fall in them and they would become bread.
It's interesting that in virtually every culture there is some form of comfort food that takes the form of porridge. The association almost universally is that it provides comfort and restores health and energy.
These are foods to get you through the day. This is not, I'm sitting down and enjoying breakfast with my family. This is, I need to go work in the field for 8 hours and I need something that's going to sustain me throughout.
The bubur ayam is our dish from the traditional Indonesia. Come with the rice, with the shredded chicken, with the gizzard, liver, quail egg. I have memory when I make the first bubur when I get sick.
I know that whenever I'm, down with the flu or something, the first thing I want to do is go find a bowl of congee, and it just brings you back. The interesting thing about congee and or any other porridge out there that may contain an intense ingredient as, pig's blood pudding, the congee or the grain helps to tone down the intense flavors, but you're still able to ingest the protein and the nutrients of the intense ingredient that you're seasoning your congee with. All of a sudden you have a great marriage of flavor.
Cooking like boiling, making a porridge transforms a kind of grassy, unpalatable or undigestible food into something not just delicious if it's good, but accessible, nutritious, warming, filling.
That marries and meshes really well with Americans and their ideas about chicken soup.
In the Western world, porridge has not always translated from the times of its sort of sustenance quality to contemporary cuisine, and that has to do with class.
So they're pretty versatile. I feel like people don't often think of eating oatmeal aside from sort of traditional, breakfast porridge style, but you can take them in quite a few different directions. A savory oatmeal dish with roasted vegetables on top, maybe a carrot romesco, maybe some sort of hard-shaped cheese on it.
Porridge is a really common thing in Scandinavia where I come from. It's something I grew up with. My mom made porridge for me every single morning. We have a mix of 3 different types of grains. We use fika, black barley, and white barley.
Talk about eating a lead ball, but this is for, after you ski the Birkebeiner or after you've been out in the field all day. So with rice, if you had a little bit left over the night before, you're not going to throw it out, you're going to save it and repurpose it the morning after. I think that's where a lot of rice puddings kind of came from. And then they did get glamorized.
Champurrado is a dish that everyone eats in the Philippines. I actually grew up eating this. It's more of a breakfast dish than like a dessert dish. So we have sweet rice, coconut milk, regular milk, cocoa powder, sugar, salt, and a little chocolate. We garnish ours with crispy bacon. Sometimes in the Philippines, they actually add crispy dried fish.
I don't think we always think of things like polenta as porridge.
In the fine dining community, there's been a real interest and enthusiasm for polenta for a really long time. What I think is ironic about that is that Americans have one of the best polenta dishes of their own. We have grits. You're able to actually taste America. You're able to taste something that's creamy and toothsome, incredibly intense corn flavor.
It comes very plain, and then you add a whole bunch of things on top of it. The dish is designed to make use of your leftovers. Economically, I'm into this idea. This works for me.
You feel like you're eating history, you know what I mean? Like somebody has been eating this for thousands of years.
Porridge is, baby food. It's very easy to digest. It's very easy to eat. It's probably one of the first things that we eat when we're alive and one of the last things that we eat towards the end.